I'm a huge fan of Street Fighter. I mean, I've been playing Street Fighter since it released in the arcades. I played the original Street Fighter where you had this like pressure sensitive pad that you had to hit, and I was like maybe 11 when that came out, and it was like, you know, here's this feeble-armed little kid, and I'm like, I'm spending more time pounding on this pad, and I'm getting my butt kicked on the screen because it was really hard to pull off moves back then.
First got into Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition. We had it at 7-Eleven near where I lived in Finchley. I remember one day just walking past, my friend came dashing out of the store saying, "Hey, no, come check this out, it's a fantastic game here." And sometimes I think I should have just walked past the store, shouldn't have gone in, but unfortunately for me, I walked in, and for about 15 years onwards, past that point, I've just been addicted to the game.
I was actually brought into gaming by Street Fighter 2 on the SNES. I saw it at a mate's house and I literally had to get it, so I bought the Street Fighter 2 SNES pack, the hardware bundle, and I was hooked from then on.
It was kind of the in thing at the time, you know. It was like before drugs was popular among the youth, Street Fighter was the kind of thing that got all the youth involved in one activity, and I didn't want to be left out, basically.
I'm not that excited about Street Fighter 4, to be honest. I enjoy the series and I will buy it, no doubt, and I'll sit there on the sofa mashing buttons to try and beat my mates who are far too good and far too skillful at it. But I tend to get confused by all the characters in the different fighting games. I just like hitting buttons and laughing at my friend as he gets upset.
I first played Street Fighter World Warrior, where you couldn't choose the same character, in Alton Towers. It used to have a little arcade section in it, and I went down with my friend, and he went, "You got to play this game," and I went, "Okay." And then he just did heavy sweep on me over and over again with Ryu, and I didn't know how to block, and he wouldn't tell me, so all he was doing was knocking me over when I get up, and I said, "This game is," and I left it and didn't play it for ages. And then it came out in the SNES, and I went into hardcore training, and then that was that, really.
Yeah, I mean, like, I used to basically save my lunch money, pop down to the arcades every lunchtime and after school, and it was a way of getting the bullies to not beat me up. I'd have them all gather around me and watch me destroy all comers, basically. And it made me one of the cool kids in school. I like that.
No, I remember at one stage it got so bad that I was actually kind of nicking money off my parents. Like, they kind of had like quarters and stuff lying around, and I kind of used to steal their coins, go down there because I didn't have any money, and play this game so much.
I bought a Japanese SNES and I was paying 130 quid for the latest Street Fighter on import, Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, all of that. I even went out and bought a 3DO because I think Super Street Fighter 2 X came out exclusively on 3DO. Didn't play a 3DO for anything else other than that, and sold it a few weeks later.
But I think I bought almost every single edition of Street Fighter 2 in some form to all consoles I have. I have for PS2, for the Xbox, on the Wii, on the 360, on the DS, you know, all versions I can get my hands on, I have them.
Colonel William Guile, one of the greatest martial artists in the world, travels the global tournament circuit, using it to conceal his top secret mission as leader of an elite group of international crime fighters known only by their code name, Street Fighter.
It's always amazed me how much the Street Fighter brand managed to encapsulate the imagination of society so greatly, even more than possibly any other video game. It's spread into so many different kind of franchises.
The best thing about it, probably, aside from the games, are the movies. There's this weird thing where they've tried to make, they once made the movie, the Street Fighter movie, can't remember exactly when it came out, I think early 90s. It was when Jean-Claude Van Damme was in his heyday. And so they made, obviously, they said, we need an action star for this. So you probably had Schwarzenegger, Van Damme, or, you know, any of those like 90s action heroes, and they got Van Damme. So who does Van Damme look like the most? I guess Guile. So let's make it Guile's story. And the fight scenes are just rubbish.
They were so bad that it lends itself to being parodied so well. I mean, the version which has Kylie Minogue, you already have to ask yourself, and you have Kylie Minogue in a Street Fighter movie, whether the casting for that has been made on sound premises.
It's really camp, it's really badly written, and also, I mean, you've got this horrible thing where the guy who played Raul Julia, the guy who played M. Bison, died straight afterwards. He was a good actor, but like that's his final, that's his final piece of work. That's what capped off his career.
Anyone who opposes me will be destroyed.
Colonel, you can't!
Oh yes, I can. Just take the hostages out. If I'm not topside in 15 minutes, evacuate without me.
So there's this absolutely crazy Jackie Chan movie, and in it, Jackie Chan kind of is in the room, and he's spatting off something. He's like tied up or something, and some guy comes in to beat him up, and he just throws Jackie Chan right across the room, and he lands into a power socket and gets electrocuted. And along the side are Street Fighter 2 machines. And it's really weird, when he comes to, the guy he's fighting is dressed as Ken. Right, all of a sudden, and then the Street Fighter music starts playing. And then he just suddenly materializes as all these different Street Fighter 2 characters, and he just starts playing as them. So he plays as E Honda and does the slap and stuff. And then Ken goes in there and starts doing like Hadoukens and stuff, and dragon punches and starts like kicking his ass. And then he lobs him against the wall. And then the worst thing is when he comes to again, he's dressed as Chun-Li. So if you can imagine like, I don't know, like the weirdest thing you've ever seen in your life, and multiply it by 10, that is Jackie Chan in a Chun-Li costume, trying to beat someone up and doing like spinning kicks and stuff. It's really, really weird. I don't know quite where they got that from, but.
It's hard to put into context without seeing the rest of the movie what that fight scene is all about, but any opportunity for someone, especially Jackie Chan, to go through almost every single main character from Street Fighter is a joy to behold. It's slightly worrying. Seeing him dressed as Chun-Li is both disturbing and mildly arousing at the same time. It makes you ask yourself some very deep questions which you don't want the answer to.
Let's talk a little bit about Street Fighter 4. I mean, you seem to be a fan. Like, how much are you looking forward to it?
I'm dying to finally get my hands in it on the 360.
Yeah, really looking forward to Street Fighter 4.
I would almost kill for it at this point. I'm really excited about it. I've actually pre-ordered the Mad Catz arcade fighting stick for my PlayStation 3, and then I ordered the limited edition version of Street Fighter 4. So I'm ready when it comes out.
I was in Japan right around the TGS not too long ago, and every day we were there. We were there for 2 weeks. We'd find an arcade, no matter what city we were in, and we'd just play Street Fighter 4 for an hour or two.
What I didn't like about the Street Fighter series was that it became very convoluted and very, multiple strains of storylines going on at the same time. And there was Street Fighter 2 and Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Super Street Fighter 2, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, and then Street Fighter 3 came out somewhere in the middle when I'd lost interest. And it seems that Street Fighter 4 is like a clear break. We're starting again. With Street Fighter 4, we're going to take all the elements that you used to like and really ramp it up.
What I'm really looking forward to the most is kind of going back to that whole thing they had with Street Fighter 2, you know? We kind of lost it with the Street Fighter 3 and all the crazy alpha versions they had and all that kind of stuff. And they just didn't have the same vibe and the same depth of the characters. And going into 4 now, it's like being able to relive those kind of childhood memories again, and but in a HD environment, and it's just awesome.
I'm really looking forward to it because I just think it looks absolutely amazing. I love how they've basically managed to retain the old style of the original graphics and turn them into 3D. And the first time I saw it, I thought, how is this possible? They really nailed the style of it.
They've put in Street Fighter 4, it's absolutely amazing. Epic super moves, like just awesome effects, amazing graphics, really, really fast, like Turbo Edition. I don't actually know what else they could possibly add to it, to be honest.
I normally, when I'm playing Street Fighter 4, I will play as a girl because that sums up my skills.
I think probably for everyone, Ryu is always like that. It's very easy to play up.
Do you have that sort of natural affinity towards Ryu and Ken, like everyone else?
Ryu's moveset are the basic building blocks for everything in Street Fighter. Right. So if you can put together a Ryu game, you can put together distancing, combos, And you know, I think that's the best starting place.
Well, what's the point in like